Hey guys, welcome to Metal Emporium. Today I thought I would show you some of the newer stuff that I've added to the collection lately. I just got a box of goodies in from Heaven and Hell Records. Jeremy Golden and Gary Schaefer over at the label hooked me up with some stuff, some new stuff, some older stuff. They've got tons of stuff out. Check them out at heavenandhellrecords.com. They do reissues of hard to find records, demos and stuff that bands have put out through the years. Nice compilations. And speaking of compilation, here's their latest Heaven and Hell sampler, and pretty cool. They did a takeoff of the Jesus Christ Superstar album art there for Heaven and Hell Records latest sampler. You've got quite a few bands on here: Child's Play, Royal Hell, Breaker, Witch's Mark, Mariah, Nothing Pretty, China White, Brat, some good stuff on here. And they'll definitely send you one of these with all your orders whenever you order something from them. But yeah, so check this out. And so let's go through some of these here and see what we've got. Here's one. This was actually from 1985. It's Dan Jeffries' Century. Jeremy had been talking this one up for quite a while for me. He's like, you got to check this out, you know. And so they finally sent me one. It's great, just heavy rock, kind of a little on the prog side. It's got a very 70s influence to it. I hear, you know, Triumph and Kansas and Boston, some Deep Purple and Rainbow type stuff in it. But this was it actually came out in 1985 originally, and they reissued it in 2020, and that's Dan Jeffries' Century album. Moving on here, we have Terror Boulevard. Now this is from 1994. It's a New York band. It's actually ex-Blacksmith lead singer, Malcolm Lovegrove. He sang for Blacksmith for a little while. It's cool, just, you know, heavy metal. It's got some thrash elements to it. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Laz Rocket, Death Angel. It's got some, you know, some power metal mixed in with it. But pretty cool. And that's, like I said, Terror Boulevard. Check them out. Now, here's a band from North Carolina. I saw these guys years ago, back in the early 90s. This is Of Dying Dreams. And this is made up of some demos from 1994 and 96 and even into 2006, actually. It's progressive thrash. It's got aggressive vocals mixed with clean vocals. It's definitely, if you're into stuff like Children of Bodom, Edge of Sanity, I hear a little bit of Fate's Warning in here because the clean vocals remind me a lot of Fate's Warning. But yeah, it's thrash. It's got some prog into it. But Of Dying Dreams, really cool band. Like I said, I remember seeing them ages ago play on a bill when I went to Greensboro, North Carolina for a show. But yeah, check them out. Here's another North Carolina band that they put out in 2020. This one is a band, it's called Cerebellum. And these guys are from Raleigh. I remember seeing them around. They're kind of like a punk metal fusion type hybrid. It's got 6 demos that were recorded between 91 and 92. And it's got a live show of them in the early 90s playing at the old classic club in Raleigh called the Fallout Shelter. So it's 11 live tracks included on here, and it's definitely for fans of Primus, Clutch, Helmet, Old Soundgarden. Really cool stuff here, Cerebellum. Here's a band called Invid, and these guys were from Pittsburgh, and it's made up of 2 demos from 91 and 92. Heaven and Hell put this out in 2022. It's kind of like technical thrash metal. It's got some prog mixed in with it. Sanctuary, the band Sanctuary, really comes to mind when I hear this, especially with the singer. It's got elements of Watchtower, Crimson Glory, another band comes to mind with this. Fate's Warning, one I've mentioned a couple times here. When you talk about prog metal, you always bring in Fate's Warning usually. There's some influence there for sure. It also features the bass player Jason Myers, old friend of mine. He's in the band Icarus Witch now, but this was a band he used to have back in the day. This was Invid, worth checking out for sure. Here's one, Heaven and Hell, released in 2023. This is Rat Alley with the album Down and Out. This is like straight ahead hard rock. I mean, it's definitely for fans of Skid Row, Spread Eagle, Circus of Power, stuff like that. These were demos from 89 and 90. Here's the band 137. They were a doomy kind of groove metal mixed with some death metal. They were a band from Michigan. Definitely for fans of Obituary, Sepultura, 6 Feet Under, High on Fire, Sleep. Good stuff here. Definitely got a good groove going on with these guys. I saw these guys. They played the Snake Net Metal Fest in Raleigh years ago, and you know, this is just a collection of a bunch of demos they had done through the years, and really cool stuff. 137. Here's another North Carolina band that Heaven and Hell dug up. I used to see these guys a lot back in the day in clubs in Greenville and Raleigh, North Carolina. The band is called Corrupture. And yeah, this is the Hello Cruel World demos that they did, plus some other stuff. It was actually like 1989 through like 91, I think is when all this stuff was recorded. But yeah, these guys were great, just great thrash metal. Very much in the vein of stuff like Nuclear Assault, the thrashier side of DRI. I hear some bands like, you hear a little bit of Overkill influence in it. But yeah, these guys were great back in the day. Used to see them a whole lot. Definitely want to check this one out. But Heaven and Hell put this one out last year. This was one that I remember I was kind of helping them put it together, and we worked on it for like almost 10 years before it ever came to be, and finally glad to see this one come to light. I had to throw this one in since we're talking about North Carolina bands. I helped put this project together. This was released in 2020. I remember we put it out while the pandemic was going on, and I was glad to finally see it come out. This was the first band I ever really worked with when I was a teenager. They're called Arcanum, and this album's called The Book of Onyx. And they used to be called Onyx, and then of course that Rat band came along in the 90s and they had to change their name, so they changed it to Arcanum. And this is some demos that they did in I think around like 93 or something like that, if I remember right. It's got some 92 recordings on it. But yeah, this was really cool. If you're into stuff like early Merciful Fate, definitely check these guys out. They've got a little bit of Fates Warning in them too. I like to keep bringing up Fates Warning here, but yeah, these guys have a lot of the influence of that early like Spectre Within era, Fates Warning. But Arcanum, The Book of Onyx. Here's a couple of the newer releases that Heaven and Hell have put out lately. Sometimes the Dragon Wins by Mariah. Now these guys were a melodic metal band out of Maryland. It's got bits of prog in there. You hear a little bit of Queensryche, Pretty Maids, Dream Theater in this. Some recordings that they did in the late 80s. Excellent musicianship in this, great guitar work. Yeah, it's another cool one to check out. And back to North Carolina again, we have another North Carolina band. These guys are from Charlotte, and they're called Paragon. And this is really cool stuff. Heaven and Hell has released 2 different volumes of Paragon recordings here. Paragon 1 and Paragon 2. But yeah, these are really cool. These are melodic, heavy metal, bits of prog in it. They sound a lot like TNT. The singer sounds a lot like Tony Harnell from TNT. His name was Sonny Reynolds. He just passed away recently, sadly. But yeah, he sounds a lot like Tony Harnell. So you got that TNT sound. There's some Dream Theater influence in here, a little bit of the proggy side of Winger, but great melodic rock on both of these. Like I said, Paragon 1 and 2 on Heaven and Hell Records. Moving on to the music that I have playing in the background here, actually. This band is from Philly. This is Breaker with 2 Ks. Great female fronted band from Philly. It's just straight up 80s style heavy metal. They have a female singer, her name is Claire. She's a great singer. She reminds me a lot of Lee Aaron, the Canadian metal queen, Lee Aaron. But yeah, this is good stuff. If you like Lee Aaron, if you like Judas Priest, Dokken, stuff like that, you definitely want to check out Breaker. So I was talking about Gary Schaefer, who's part of Heaven and Hell Records. He also has the original Heavy Metal Museum, and I got a package of stuff from him recently. Got the Final Offering by the band Axe, the U.S. band Axe. This is actually their last and supposedly their final album. This one was released in 2019, and I had listened to this online quite a bit, and I'm finally glad to get a copy of it. But yeah, it's just great melodic hard rock. If you're familiar with Axe, it's what they do best. Bobby Barth and the guys are just kicking it on this one for their final album. Here's one on the Loudworks label. Loudworks does a lot of unofficial releases, and this is what this is. This is actually a band called Studs, and it's this is a collection of early Mike Tramp from White Lion demos, or actually an album he did with a band called Studs. I think this album, I think the Studs stuff was recorded in 1981. Just good melodic hard rock like Mike is known for. And then it also features some demos that he did with a group called Danish Lions in 1982. And that Danish Lions actually ended up kind of formed into White Lion eventually after after Mike met Vito Brava. But yeah, this is the early recordings from Mike Tramp, the Studs, and the Lion stuff. Like I said, became White Lion, and pretty good recordings. Nice digipack here. Got some cool pictures in it. Cool photos of the band here. But yeah, pretty cool piece here. I actually saw Mike Tramp last year, and he put on a great show. If you get a chance to go see him, he always delivers. Here's a few that I got from Gary that are on the Dying Victims label out of Germany. This is Center Rage. This is really cool. These guys are from Spain. It's excellent traditional heavy metal. It's got ripping guitar works on it, soaring vocals. Just good stuff here. There's a picture of them on the back here. These Dying Victims CDs are very, very well done. They always they give the little obi strips like you get on the Japanese CDs when you buy them. But Dying Victims put some on their CDs. I always keep them. I'll probably end up putting these in plastic sleeves like I usually do with my Japanese CDs. And they give you like stickers and stuff with them. But yeah, Dying Victims, they make some really cool stuff. But definitely Power Strike by Center Rage. Definitely check this out. Moving on to another band from Spain. I've been following these guys for years now. These guys are called Iron Curtain, and this is their Gladiator EP from 2023. These guys are just great speed metal. Kind of reminds me of early Running Wild a bit. Mike Leprosy and the boys, they just put out some great stuff. I've been following them since their debut album came out in 2017. But yeah, this is cool stuff here, man. The Metal Gladiator EP. It's called an EP. It's got 7 songs on it. And then I have another one by them here, which is 2024's their album Savage Dawn. And yeah, another good one. These guys are just great. I can't say enough good things about them. And here's a band from Texas, Mean Mistreater. This is just good kick-ass hard rock, heavy metal. I mean, I hear everything from Motorhead to Wasp to, Warlock. Female-fronted band here. She's got a great ballsy voice. Really dig this record. Been listening to it a whole lot. This one's called Do or Die, and it's their latest record. And like I said, it's on Dying Victims Records. So check them out for sure. This is the latest from a North Carolina band called Outlier. This is Relentless. These guys are super heavy. If you like stuff like Lamb of God, you like modern day Death Angel, modern day Testament, the modern thrash styles, you'll definitely dig these guys. This is just a kick-ass album, Outlier, Relentless. I found this out in the wild. I found this at Nice Price Books in Raleigh. It's one of the Japanese pressings, like little mini albums for Def Leppard High and Dry, which is my favorite Def Leppard record. This is one of the super high material CDs, they call these, and like I said, it's a little album replica. It's got your OB strip. You open it up, it's got like replica of the inner sleeve that was in the original album. You got a little Japanese booklet in here, but I already had this. I had numerous copies of it already on vinyl and CD, but I found this one. It was pretty cheap, and I was like, I gotta get this. This is cool. All right, I gotta talk about these guys. I just saw them recently, was just blown away, so impressed with this band. Young band out of Louisiana. They're called Void, and this is their debut album. It's on Shadow Kingdom Records. Horrors of Reality. This is totally technical thrash metal. I mean, if you like stuff like Annihilator, Corner, stuff like that, thrash with some really technical musicianship in it, you'll dig these guys. They've got the total package. I mean, they look great, they sound great. Look out for these guys in the future, because I think they're going to be a major player in the thrash world and heavy metal world in the future. Void. There's a back shot of the guys. Like I said, cool looking bunch of dudes, and they put on a great live show. I just saw where they're getting ready to go out with Dark Angel really soon on a package. I think Dark Angel and Sacred Reich and Hyrax. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Saw them when I went and saw them. They've got a new album that's getting ready to come out here in a couple weeks on Shadow Kingdom Records. And this is one of the singles from the album. It's Return of the Phantom. Look up that video. Look up Return of the Phantom on YouTube. Great video. Really cool song. This is a great little 7-inch single here. I got them all to autograph it. Yeah, pretty cool here. The B-side to this is they do a cover of Necromantical Screams from Celtic Frost, and they do a raging version of it. Here's a couple of 7-inch singles I picked up. This is G-Force Gary Moore. Gary Moore had a band called G-Force. I think this is like 1980 or something. But yeah, this is the single for Hot Gossip. Yeah, very short-lived project for Gary Moore. And you gotta love this classic, Heavy Metal Love by Helix off their No Rest for the Wicked album. Yeah, this is just a cool 7-inch single I picked up of that. Got a few things in from my friends over at Suburbia Records recently. Here's a Japanese copy of Triumph's 1985 double live album, Stages. Great record here. All the Triumph classics at that time were on it. Love this one. I didn't have a Japanese pressing, so I had to pick this up. Here is a 12-inch single from Running Wild from the Death or Glory album for Bad to the Bone. It's got a couple of B-side tracks, is the Battle of Waterloo and March On. Here's the B-sides on those. And this is something I had been wanting to get for a while, and they cut me a good deal on it, so I picked it up. Love Running Wild. And here's the 1998 album by Atlanta's Stuck Mojo. I was a big fan of these guys back in the day, still am. Got to be friends with them. Just saw them many times. I wasn't really into a lot of the rap metal stuff that came out, but these guys, they just had something special, man. I mean, between Bones' raps and Rich's just killer metallic riffs, just love these guys, and this was really cool. I remember they had the video for Rising, and it had Diamond Dallas Page in the video. Yeah, Rising by Stuck Mojo, and this is an original 1998 European pressing of this album. Pretty hard to get. Here's a couple of reissue albums that I picked up. These never came out on vinyl that I know of. These are on the Real Gone Music label. This is Taiketto's debut album from 1991, Don't Come Easy. Great melodic hard rock record from these guys. If you're into stuff like TNT and Journey and stuff like that, you would dig these guys if you've never heard them. Good stuff. And also I got this from the Real Gone label. This is on Blue Murder's second album, Nothing But Trouble. This is from 1993. And they did this on a double LP. I think it's on blue vinyl. And great record from the late great John Sykes. I'm going to be doing a John Sykes edition of the show soon. I've got so much John Sykes stuff. He's one of my favorite guitar players, and so I'm going to do some stuff showing you all the John Sykes stuff that I got coming up soon. But yeah, Nothing But Trouble, really good second record from the Blue Murder band. Blue Murder were a great band. They should have been bigger. Yeah, there's a John Sykes documentary out on YouTube. It just came out in 2 parts. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really cool. And last but not least, I want to mention this book. Sing Me Away. It's the Night Ranger album review. This is by my friend Tim Derling. This book goes through the entire Night Ranger catalog, talks in depth about each album that they released over the years. He has a bunch of guest reviewers in here, including myself, and we just give our takes on these albums, and it's very, very in depth. And if you're a Night Ranger fan, you'll definitely want to check this out for sure. You can actually order it from Amazon. I ordered it and got it in with just like 2 days. So that's it for this episode, folks. Thanks for joining me. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to leave some comments. And we'll see you next time right here on the Metal Emporium. Stay metal.